You know, the people who come to our school don't wake up in the morning and say, should we go to Stanford or Larson Training Center?
Right. There you go. And that's LarsonTrainingCenter.com. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. We get the people who are motivated to become financially secure, and they're willing to do what it takes to get there. And they're the people who are less educated. I mean, the school is tailored for that group of people. And specifically our program, the Gladius program, sales program, was originally created for ex-felons to help them break the chains of recidivism.
Yes.
Through financial stability, stable and meaningful employment. That's what we did and do. And you know, we started that because the president of the school is a West Point graduate.
Yes.
And he went to prison for a visit. And while he was there, he saw that families would come with dad and mom, and which was great. But the heart-wrenching part is when visiting time is over, and the families have to go, and the kids are trying to hold on to their dad, and it's a very traumatic experience. And so after seeing that, our president said, Ed, you know, we have to do something about this, because those kids will grow up stigmatized or affected by that environment. And then what we've talked about is when the dad gets out of prison and comes home, it's hard for him to get work, get a job. And that also has an effect.
No one wants the felon to work at the bank.
no, that doesn't happen.
Especially the bank he robbed.
Yeah, that doesn't happen. The thing is, what do I do when I get out? Where do I go? Who's going to help me?
Yes.
And again, the problem in California is the money is out. There aren't rehabilitation programs. You can't look to the state to help you as an ex-felon. You really can't expect them to help you. So what do? And our program originally was created for those people. The ones that are motivated, that will do what it takes, and it starts with, up here, of believing that they can become financially secure. And then we work on techniques, and what's unique about our program versus other vocational schools is the day you start school, you have a job. Other schools say, we're going to teach you and then help you get a job.
Right.
Our program is the day you start is the day you have a job.
Let me ask you a basic question that everybody wants to know. America wants to know. Are you afraid of some of these ex-felons?
No, I'm not afraid, but that's because I had a life-changing event. You know, I said our president went to visiting at camp, and then he said, Ed, we got to do something about it. What I got sidetracked was I didn't say who he went to see. He came to see me in prison. To your point, very early on, not everybody that goes to prison is guilty of a crime. You know, some people go that shouldn't go. And
no, let's go back to that. Now, your crime was white-collar crime, though.
My crime was white-collar.
Okay.
First of all, I spent 8 months in jail trying to get to trial.
Okay.
And jail and prison are completely different. Jail is run by the counties.
Yes.
And it's generally you're there before you go to trial.
Okay.
And it's a very dehumanizing experience. Prison is after you've been convicted of a felony.
And that's a party.
Well, it seems like that compared to jail.
Compared to jail.
In jail, you have a strap around your wrist with a barcode, and you're called a body. You're not called a person. They don't treat you as a person. In my 8 months that I was there, I got outside 4 times for 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half at a time. So I can say a lot of good things about firefighters, and I spent most of my time in prison in fire camp, which is really like it's a labor camp. But it's for the correction officers, it's their job. That's what they do, and the fire captains, you know, they're devoted and committed to putting out fires. And it's just that the inmates, that's the labor that has to scrape the ground and, you know, spend tremendous amounts of energy doing labor. So But while you're in prison, there's no rehabilitation, but it's a lot better to be in prison than it is in jail. And so I spent 8 months in jail trying to get to trial. Then when the end was nearing, I was told, if you insist on going to trial, if you lose, I'm inclined to give you 20 years.
Ooh.
Or you can take 6.
Yes.
And I said, well, I'm not going to plead guilty to something I didn't do. So at that point, I wasn't very smart, so I took an extra year so I wouldn't have to plead guilty. So I got a 7-year term and did almost half of that. And you know what I would say, Thaddeus, is when the judge says, if you insist on going to trial and if you lose, I'm inclined to give you 20 years, you don't think about the merits of your case. You think about the commitment of your attorney.
Right, right, yes.
You know, because it's not about the facts, it's about his presentation. Having grown up in this environment, having gone to a good university, having gone to law school, and then my life getting completely changed and being on the other side of the looking glass, as I call it, and seeing how bad the system is, that it is not, it's a structural problem. And it goes back to what I said in the beginning. You know, too many people are going to prison, too many people are coming out of prison, and they go back into the community, and the cycle just starts over and over. So, to me, with my background, education is the key. The key to financial security, and it's on-the-job type training. It's a vocational education. We're going to get you a job. We're going to teach you to succeed in that job. We're going to help you get better jobs in the future. And these are jobs that you can do into your 80s, 90s, where, and sales is a job where the more experience you have, the better you are. It's not like, as we talked about with the plumber, that once you can't turn the wrench, you know, you're not a better plumber. You know, sales, you can continually get better, and there's a sense of pride in it that everything ultimately is sold. People might be afraid to be salesmen, and they, you know, we have stereotypes against used car salesmen, but we respect people who can go out and earn their living. And our litmus test, when we're done, our litmus test is, are you well enough trained through our program that you can go onto Craigslist under sales and marketing, where there are hundreds of commission-only jobs, where you can select a commission-only job and be successful doing it. Get that job. If we can train you to the point where you can go on Craigslist, choose a commission-only job that you want, and be successful, then we know we've done it.
Thank you very much, Ed, for appearing on the show.
Thank you for letting me be on the show.
Oh, it's